Indian government would be supporting $10 billion for the semiconductor industries. $10 billion, that means approximate 76,000 crore rupees that would be invested for the semiconductor industries, and this plant would be established at especially in the government of Gujarat region, and the government of Gujarat would be providing equal fund, that is a $10 billion. So total $20 billion, that is 152,000 crore rupees, would be invested for the fabrication laboratories to be established in Gujarat. Especially once we see that for the next decades, the universities and the institutes would provide 85,000 BTech electronics and communication engineers, and we see that there would be ample opportunities for the BTech electronics and communication engineers for this particular field.
Sir, can you please elaborate the usage of semiconductor chips?
Yeah, semiconductor chips are widely used in car, especially the electrical vehicle, Volvo, electrical train, aeroplane, CCTV camera, where the chips are widely used. Especially in the CCTV camera, in the sports, once we see that ball is moving from one direction to another direction, so at that time every movement which is recorded by the CCTV camera, and especially in a smartphone also the semiconductor chips are widely used.
Well, sir, what kind of the support would be extended by the government to support the semiconductor industry?
The government would provide the land, subsidies, and whatever the grant which are required for the semiconductor industries. And especially once we say the semiconductor industries would be established as a fab lab, that means a fabrication lab. And the ecosystem which would be provided by the government, the water requirement as per the need of the semiconductor industries would be provided by the government, and whatever the skilled workforce which is required for the semiconductor industries, which are to be established and to be produced by the universities and the institutions. So we would have a major responsibility to produce BTech electronics and communication engineers for that.
Okay, sir, you have used one word, Fab Lab. So can you please tell us what is this Fab Lab?
Fab lab, that means a fabrication lab, and especially once we say that starting from silicon to system, that is a fabrication lab which is used for designing of the chips, and especially the semiconductor chips. Once the semiconductor which is used as a raw material and which is processed and finally which is to be converted into chips, and the chips which are widely used in a microcontroller and the microprocessor, what we say that controls the every devices in an electronic system. Once we say that the fabrication process which has ATMP, that is assembly, testing, manufacturing, packaging, and one more process, that is OSAT, which we can say that is the open source assembly and testing. So these are the processes which are widely used for the semiconductor industries to design the chips.
Sir, which are the big industries are planning to establish their Fab Lab?
Especially once we say that the big industries like Vedanta, Foxconn, Micron, similarly such kind of big industries are planning to establish their fabrication lab in Gujarat, and the government would provide support and what kind of the environment which they need to establish the fabrication lab.
Sir, how would the growth of semiconductor skills be increased in future?
The global demand for semiconductor skills would be expected to grow by 20% globally in next 6 years, and across India that would be increased by 30%. The biggest challenge is that would be a shortage of skilled workforce for the semiconductor industries, and the universities would have responsibilities to produce such as skilled workers, and especially we can say the engineers. So there would be a heavy demand of BTech electronics and communication engineers in this future.
Sir, what kind of skills in demand for semiconductor industries?
Especially once we see that there would be a heavily demand for the assembly, testing, manufacturing, packaging, reliability, software side, and every domain there would be a heavy demand for the semiconductor industries. Thank you, madam. Thank you.